Hi again. So now we're doing Jimmy Choo versus Jimmy Choo fever. So I've already sprayed both on myself previously, but also on these little tissue things, cleansing pads, whatever they are. These have no fragrance, they're dry. So there's nothing interfering with the smell. I got these from micro perfumes. I love ordering from micro perfumes when they have their like 15% off and free shipping. I always kind of order something, and I ordered Jimmy Choo first and then Jimmy Choo Fever later. So I'll say straight off the bat, in my opinion, Jimmy Choo is far, far better than Fever. As a matter of fact, I don't even know why they named this one Fever. It's not that it's bad. It's nice, but this should be, they should rename this one like Jimmy Choo Cozy Powdery Vanilla Timid Relaxing. And the Jimmy Choo, if they were going to add an adjective to it or another word to it, it would be Jimmy Choo Sexy. So, yeah, so the Jimmy Choo, according to Fragrantica, was launched in 2011, and it's a chypre fruity fragrance. I really like this one. I can tell you that the Jimmy Choo has really good lasting power for me. Um, Sprayed it on the inside of one of my winter jackets since we've had some cold nights. It's only October 4th, but we've had some cold weather here in South Carolina, unseasonably cold for us. Um, yeah, anyhow, it stayed on my jacket. Like the next day, I was like, oh yeah, my jacket was wafting nice, sexy vibes from the inside where I sprayed it. And also, I wore this to see a guy that I know, and he's will tell me right off the bat when he usually likes the way I smell, but he will tell me right off the bat if he thinks something smells sexy. And Jimmy Choo, he said, "Oh, you smell so sexy," which I thought so too anyway. So um, we all appreciate hearing it though, right? So yeah, this is the Jimmy Choo is a nice. It has so much more lasting power. It's got so much more character. It's got the fruit in it is juicy, but yet it's got the patchouli, like the toffee and patchouli. So it's got everything that you would want sexy, I think, on a woman because it's got the earthiness that makes it more, I don't know, like grounded and sexy too, along with the fruits and the florals and the patchouli. If you're not a fan of patchouli, or this isn't exactly a fruit chuli, but if you're not a fan of that kind of thing, you may not like this. Although I think most people like this one. Um, but some people just don't like any kind of patchouli, so this wouldn't be your vibe. It wouldn't be your bag, baby, as Austin Powers would say. But it is mine, and I really like this one, and it projects really well when I wear it. And like I said, the lasting power is impressive enough for me to mention. It was still smelling good on my jacket the next day, well into the next day, actually. And I get compliments on it. Also, my family, the people around me, aside from that specific guy, my daughter was like, "Yeah, that smells really good." So the Jimmy Choo fever, why name this one fever? Does it mean you have a fever and you're just cuddled up in bed after getting out of the shower and powdering yourself and having a fever of being sick and just having cozy vanilla around? I mean, it's not bad. It's nice. I will use up this whole little micro perfumes travel size bottle. Again, let me say I really like ordering from micro perfumes, especially, well, really only I order when they have like the free shipping and I get the notifications, but it always gets shipped out quickly and I get it fast. And I think like the one time I ever had any issues, I think with something being not being filled enough, their customer service was excellent. No, I don't not getting any like kickoffs or anything, kickbacks from micro perfumes, but that's just my experience. So it's interesting when I was reading on Fragrantica, one of the people said for fever that they thought this would be for older ladies. I don't get that at all. If anything, I would think with it being, as a matter of fact, it's listed. It came out in, well, Fragrantica says it came out in 2018 and is actually described as an amber vanilla. So yeah, it's pleasant. It does not last. I'm not going to say it doesn't last. It does last. This one, it's nice. Um, it just doesn't last as well as Jimmy Choo last. This, I would think sits closer. Well, actually, I think if you spray a good amount, if you're a heavy sprayer, you'll get projection. But at the end of the day, this one would set more closer. So let's just, I think both of these probably do best in cool weather. Although the Jimmy Choo, I would definitely wear that on a summer night as well, going out on a date, just because it's sexy. Fever needs a different name. Anyhow, Fragrantica says the main accords are vanilla, sweet, fruity, amber, warm, spicy, powdery, woody, coffee, white floral, balsamic. It does have that bit of a coffee note to it. It's not a strong coffee note, but I will say this. My youngest child, who is 21, has such a great nose for fragrance because I had these separate in each hand and called her out into the hallway, and I said, I didn't tell her what they were, although she had already smelled the Jimmy Choo before and said that she liked it. Like I said, I later ordered the Jimmy Choo Fever, and she hadn't smelled this one yet, but I held both my hands out, and separately she smelled, and she was like, that one's Jimmy Choo. And she said, the other one's that coffee fragrance that you have. And I said, well, it does have coffee as a note. You have such a good nose because, in my opinion, it's not a strong coffee note, but she picked right up on it. But it's not strong enough to call it like a coffee fragrance, so don't let that like misguide you. But it's present. But for me, I pick up as they describe it. It's described as an ambery vanilla, and there's nothing wrong with the ambery vanilla. It's pretty. I'm sure if you spray it really well, it'll project and you'll smell pretty. But it's not sexy. With a name like Fever, I expect sexy, like the song Fever. So anyway, the notes in this one, in Fever, are plum, lychee, grapefruit. Middle notes are heliotrope, vanilla, orchid, jasmine, orange blossom, and base notes are tonka bean, vanilla, benzoin, coffee, hazelnut, sandalwood. See, it's just more of a like a sweet vanilla-ish. The plum is there, but it's not excessively plum-like other fragrances. But it does give it a little bit of depth, a little tiny bit. To me, it smells quality. Some people say synthetic. Sometimes I like a synthetic smell, depending on what it is. But, hold on. Let me separate. Yes, sexier. Nice, but just not sexy. Does that help you guys? This is not, unless you're just one of those people that nice, warm, powdery vanilla just does it for you, but it ends up being much softer than this one. So back to the original, the Jimmy Choo. I think this is a compliment getter. It projects, it has longevity. Top notes, pear, mandarin orange, and green notes. Middle note is orchid, and base note, toffee and patchouli. The toffee and patchouli is very sexy, more of a sexy sweetness than the Fever, which is the vanilla and sandalwood. That's a different kind of sweetness. This is more rich sweetness to me, and yeah, I definitely get the toffee and patchouli, and the fruits in it are very juicy. The green notes makes it feel like it's airy and carries some, even though it's almost yeah, it just has like a certain amount of like juiciness mixed with the sticky, not syrupy, but like sticky sweet, earthy patchouli, and that little bit of floral. So I would buy a whole bottle, and I think I will get a whole bottle of Jimmy Choo. Jimmy Choo. I think this is worth having for some sexy date nights for you and for me. And Jimmy Choo Fever. I will happily wear it if somebody were to buy me a bottle, but I will not go out and buy it. Um, it is, I mean, it's pretty. I'm not saying it's not pretty. It is pretty. It's just not as sexy. And with a name like Fever, I just froze again. After smelling the sexiness of this, then ordering Jimmy Choo Fever, I expect it to be at least that sexy and then some. And it's, you know, that's pretty. It can be sexy. If you're already sexy, you'll make it sexy. If you're not already sexy, you smell nice. If you're not already sexy and you wear this one, you might become a little sexier. So I hope that helps. Did I read all the notes? Yes, I did. The pear in this is really nice, really juicy pear. The fruit is just juicy. Mm, this one's good. So, to me. So, yes, I would love to hear your opinion in the comments. And, oh, the main accords for Jimmy Choo is sweet, patchouli, fruity, woody, warm, spicy, caramel, earthy, green, floral, and aquatic. So this is the winner to me. All right, so I'd love. Oh, also I want to say I do remember. I don't have it anymore, but I do remember getting a sample in the mail for Jimmy Choo. I Want You, and I think I did a review on that. And as I recall, that one I don't think I was impressed with, and I thought that one. If I can't remember the exact smell of it, but it seems like it was bland to me, or just more generic, and I think I didn't like the lack of lasting power on that one. I'll have to go back and look at my review because it was just a little sample that I reviewed. But yes, Jimmy Choo, I think is full body bottle worthy. If you're a fan of more mild, powdery coffee vanilla, then you should get Fever. All right. Like, subscribe, comment. Thank you.